Yes, sir. My Trekker, back up in this thing, man. Today, we'll be taking a look at some mysterious videos that'll keep you up at night. But before we hop into that, go ahead and spam that like button right now so bring the numbers up on the algorithm. And you ain't even gonna think about it later. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that sub button too. Sub up, join the family. This is the most lit and active community on YouTube, period. With that being said, guys, let's hop straight into the video.
Okay. Als een Rietbergen blijkt een kandidaat lastig te vallen, zou je dan zeggen, daar is wel een ongelijke machtsverhouding? Ja, nogmaals,
This is giving real reptilian shapeshifter vibes. If he takes off that mask, he'll probably look like Leonardo from the Ninja Turtles.
I was working on something for another post and noticed some pretty blatant symbolism on the posters of some major movies, such as the square and compass on the Black Panther poster. You have the compass right here and the square behind it. I'm sure you can see it now. Or how about the poster for the original Star Wars Return of the Jedi? I might have dismissed the one-eye symbolism if it wasn't for the upside-down cross. How about Batman? Without pointing it out, are you able to see it? What about if I turn it on its side? I see a 33. Maybe it's a coincidence, but probably not. Or how about Apollo 13? The movie cover could have been so many things. However, not only did they choose this, they consciously positioned Tom Hanks to display one eye. Of course they had to do this, because Apollo and 13 are symbolic as well. No way are these coincidences, and stumbling across these in a matter of minutes, I can only imagine what else I'd find if I dug deeper. Lastly, on this one, even the way he's standing and holding the light reminds me of something.
These are just more examples of occult symbolism hidden in plain sight. You can't convince me this is just a coincidence.
Maybe that's a fucking roach.
That.
I didn't even know roaches can get this big. It looks like he can squash me with his boot. It might just be a tunnel boring machine, but it kind of sounds like boiling water. And if you live near Yellowstone, that's the last sound you want to hear underneath your front lawn.
Can somebody tell me what this is? I was just going for a smoke walk after work, and what is this? Please tell me, because I'm freaked the out.
You know you took a wrong turn when you stumbled across Mothman taking a nap.
They started from wealthy families, oligarchic families of Genoa and Venice in Italy. And in the 12th century, they held the privileged trading rights, which means monopolies. It's a secret shadow hierarchy. The one at the top, what is called the papal bloodlines. The Black Pope is the one controlling the biggest intelligence agency in the world. They belong to the Jesuit order. What is called the black nobility families are the royal families across the world, mainly in Europe. The one who is the most powerful, which the Windsors are connected to, is wealth. JFK was from such a family, but apparently he misled the cabal, and that's why, unfortunately, he was assassinated. The black nobility founded the Club of Rome, the Council on Foreign Relations. They appoint the presidents and the prime ministers worldwide, as well as having immense influence over the finances, over every aspect of our life.
I feel like this is exactly why this entire system is so broken. It wasn't set up to serve the best interests of the people. It was set up so these few families can remain in power.
While looking around for Mom, this happens. Someone or something scares the living daylights out of him. He appears to see whatever it was that scared him, despite no one being there. But upon looking closely at this video, something was actually there. It was immediately after her son started running back into the house that a partial figure is seen. You can barely make out the figure before it disappears completely. Neither Mom nor anyone in the family could explain this, but they were definitely spooked. She explains that one night, after returning home from work, her son came out of the house to greet her. He always does this whenever she comes back from work. She would honk her car horn while pulling into the driveway to let him know she was here. But one night, while her son walked outside to see if she was coming in, this is captured.
I don't know exactly what just jumped out from behind that pillar, but from a kid's perspective, it probably looked like the real life boogeyman. He gonna be sleeping with a nightlight till he's 100.
Ozzy didn't die on stage, but something definitely got passed on that night. His last show was really emotional. Fans were literally calling it his funeral. But if you look a little closer, it kind of seemed like a ritual where he passed the torch on to Youngblood. Now, I get people's interests change and interests evolve, and artists change and evolve, but fans that used to hate him now love him. They're even going around and saying he's the next Ozzy, which inspired this fan theory. This is just a combination of a bunch of facts. This is just a fan theory. I am not saying it's true. This is just for fun. In 2022, Youngblood drops The Funeral. Ozzy appears and gives him this gold cross from his neck. Right before Sabbath's final show, Youngblood gives it back to him, and it's now covered in diamonds. And fans think that this is symbolic, like Ozzy offered protection and Youngblood gives it back transformed. Almost like he's saying, I'm ready. At the final show, Youngblood sings Changes. It's incredible, and the song itself is about like grief and evolution. He nails this. And some say that it doesn't feel like a performance, but it rather feels like a ceremony. Backstage, Ozzy tells him, go conquer America first. And that's not casual. It's a mission. It's like a king blessing his heir. You can even see during this part that Youngblood is on his knees, bowing to him. And yes, he is a king of music, but also maybe this is a little deeper. People noticed Youngblood looks like a young Ozzy and an early Kelly. At certain points, Kelly and Sharon have literally said it. It's not like vibes. It's almost like they're checking if this like transfer worked. In the funeral video, Ozzy touches Youngblood's forehead, and right where his third eye is in his forehead. And in occult symbolism, that is a spiritual trade-off.
I can definitely see Ozzy doing a soul transfer ritual. It kind of looked like when Youngblood was taking a knee in front of him, he was dubbing him the Duke of Darkness. That looked like a legit ghost. Maybe there was a spirit trapped inside the lodge and a fire released it.
This little fishing worm came by. This is their heart. Their four hearts are right here. It's a true earthworm, about 3 feet long. It extends and contracts. They're just bigger than they are in other parts of the world. The longest that I've seen was 1.80 meters, which is about 6 feet long. We had a lot of rain recently. They don't like to be in the ground when there's a lot of rain because it's too wet for them. So this one has come out of the ground and looking for another place to start making a hole.
He called this a little fishing worm, as if you can actually use this as bait. You're not catching anything when you cast this out because all the fish gonna run.
Okay, Hulk Hogan has just died, so I'm about to show you guys why we live in a simulation. It's about to get weird. So first, we had 3 celebrities that died. Death comes in threes, okay? So we have Malcolm Jamal Warner, we have Ozzy Osbourne, and now Hulk Hogan. This is all linked to Event 201, or the code 201. So let's start with Malcolm Jamal Warner. His age is 54. He was from Jersey City. What's the area code for Jersey City? 201. How many episodes are in The Cosby Show? The complete series had 201 episodes. Then we have Ozzy Osbourne dying at the age of 76. His name equals to 201 in Gematria. Then we have Hulk Hogan dying at the age of 71. Now get this, all their ages, add them all up, 71, 76, 54 equals 201. And just for context, Event 201 or the code 201 was actually a COVID simulation that they did back in October of 2019. Then just a few months later, we had COVID. I mean, it is a bit weird that this initiative that includes Palantir, Meta, and OpenAI executives grants military rank for the US Army called Detachment 201. What are the chances? And what this does is basically gives these tech companies military rank as senior advisors in the military industrial complex. How is this possible? This confirms that we live in a simulation, you guys.
I don't know if there's any occult significance to the number 201. I just know when you see the same numbers repeated over and over again in the mainstream media, it's probably some sort of ritual playing out.
The Silicon Valley push to breed super babies. Okay. That is the headline in the Washington Post, just came out recently.
That's one hell of a headline, Tony.
The headline got my attention. It details Orchid Health, which is a fertility startup that is the first to say it can sequence the entire genome of a would-be baby, all the DNA in a future person before it's even implanted. So it tests for 1,200 rare disorders. And, Gail, this is the especially controversial part, it gives parents a polygenic risk score for issues like obesity, schizophrenia, dementia, a range of other ailments. So the CEO says what you get is, quote, a generation that gets to be genetically blessed and avoid disease.
I got a feeling this is going to go terribly wrong. I would never trust a scientist to sequence my child's DNA. The baby might not ever get sick, but it's going to come out looking like Frankenstein.
Mate, I've been sent in the weirdest piece of footage from Bulgaria, and it says here, owner of the property where the substance fell from the sky, okay? This is from Bulgaria, from a person called Mr. Ivanov. I'm going to try and translate what he's saying. He has good English, but I'm going to try and clean it up a little bit. So it says here, when we went, we saw a red ball. A slime was boiling like acid, and it smelt like molten metal and acid, and it was trying to set the grass on fire. I took the hose and poured water on it, and it disappeared. There is nothing. It was like it was washed away by the water. No trace of it remained, only where it was burning and the grass where the red one flowed through the yard. The water turned red like red rust. Very strange, mate.
I hope they send a sample off to a lab so we can know exactly what this is, because for all we know, it could be some sort of waste from an airplane or an interstellar hot Cheeto.
Something really weird is happening with Area 51. First off, some of the people who used to work at Area 51 are coming out talking about how they received no benefits after being exposed to radiation poison. Check it out real quick.
So the radiation exposure that we experienced was for 4 years we lived up there. They knew when they did the assessment that our air was contaminated, our soil was contaminated, and our drinking water was contaminated. So the water that my food was cooked in was contaminated. The water that I showered in every day was contaminated.
And while that's being talked about, coincidentally, there is also a wildfire near Area 51 that is raising some speculation and causing people to come up with theories. Some people believe that the wildfire won't just burn up area or desert land around Area 51, but will also conveniently burn up any evidence of whatever happened in the last 50 years there as well. Personally, I think it's so interesting watching a place going from being just a rumor or something people didn't even think existed to being openly talked about in the court of law.
If I worked at Area 51 under toxic conditions and they wouldn't give me benefits, I would organize a protest. Me and ET would be on the picket line right outside the front gate.
Talking about government hiding things, this one's creepy. There's this thing called Operation Often. It was within MK Ultra. It was hidden from the majority of government until 1975 to 77. The FBI director basically destroyed all evidence of MK Ultra. In December of 2024, they just released 1,200 documents. It gave more light to this thing called Operation Often. Operation Often was a joint U.S. Army and CIA project launched in the late 1960s. They went full in on hiring Satanists, witches, to study and see if they could weaponize the paranormal. This is not made up. These documents came out saying that they were doing this. There are even reports that this program had files on spiritual possessions, poltergeist activity, and demonic entities.
Bro.
This is the U.S. government saying, like, let's research this and see if we can weaponize it. This was at the height of the Cold War. They're just trying to figure out anything to weaponize.
They're looking at spirituality as like a science to be harnessed.
Because they know it's real. People think black magic, witchcraft, all this stuff is baloney. But I'm like, if the government, they've been looking, now they're like, now we're going to conduct a study on it.
It just makes it that much creepier because the supernatural world is real. Demons are real. Our government was actively inviting that stuff in. It's just dark, you know? That's why we need Jesus.
They'll try to weaponize anything. They were really about to have soldiers in the middle of the battlefield pulling out Ouija boards, conjuring demons to the front lines.
So everybody's making a big old deal right now because Salma Hayek and Angelina Jolie are in Veracruz right now in a place called Catemaco or Catemoco. I hope I pronounced it right. And right away you can tell who's actually from Mexico and who isn't just by the comments. The ones that are from here are like, oh my God, they're so humble. Salma Hayek's so humble, never forgetting her roots and blah, blah, blah. I swear my people are so asleep. And then you have the locals from Veracruz, which are saying what it really is. And they said it's not a good reason. They're there, but it is not for a good reason. Why? Because that place, Catemoco, Catemaca, whatever, is actually the capital of the brujas, the capital of the witches, as this person says right here.
Temaco, justo.
Sí. Allá es la capital de la brujería.
And what the locals are speculating, because they know what happens in that place, they're known for TikTok. This is just a conspiracy, but they're very highly known for rituals and things like that. And most of the people, the locals in the comments, are saying the same thing, that she's there for the red juice. Or they're there, both of them. And yes, I mean, are y'all really surprised? Salma Hayek, she's the same one who does these kind of things. And I know y'all say, oh, it's just a video, but a lot of these celebrities hide the truth in things like this. And I mean, there's even a book about it, this book right here, where it talks about, the powerful leaders there, all the politicians and everything, they go there for their brujeria stuff.
Well, Salma Hayek and her husband do own the parent company that owns Balenciaga, and if you know how dark that rabbit hole goes, then you know that she probably wasn't in the Mexican capital of the witches just for the margaritas.
A friend just had this camping picture. It came up in her memories. She freaked out when she saw the figure in the background. Do you think it's just a streaker or something stranger?
A streaker?
Go ahead.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, that's the deer. Okay. Oh, no. No.
Yeah, no. Nope. No. Don't
That's not a streaker. That is...
the rake.
Literally. Okay. This could be a couple things. First, off the bat thought is... I would say that's a skinwalker.
I would say it looks like the thing we saw in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
At the Conjuring House.
It's very similar. If this thing went down on all fours, that'd be pretty accurate.
Especially when you look at the hip leg placement, it looks like it's halfway on its way to being something else.
Right. But considering this is outside, this could be an alien.
Possibly.
I mean...
its head is strangely small for the size of its body. It's very weird. It's a very weird image. It does seem to be this kind of naked skinny man in the background.
Which is nothing you ever want in the background.
It's just, I mean...
Because he's also elongated in a weird way.
He's elongated,
The proportions
he's
don't
not-
make sense. Like the
human color.
I mean, literally, that is such a jarring photo, and if I were that person, I would never come back there. You wouldn't see me again.
No.
When a 10-foot skinwalker shows up in his birthday suit, the camping trip is over.
Let's say for entertainment purposes, I saw something in the sky back in March of 2025 that I cannot explain. It was floating about 500 feet away in the sky, and my gut reaction was not to immediately start trying to take blurry potato vision of it, but instead to get still images so we could analyze it together. I did take a video of it right before it disappeared, where I was able to capture additional anomalies around the object and a plane flying past it. But first, let's look at the object itself. And to anybody that might think that this is just like a rogue weather balloon, they're doing a study on the weather, this object is floating right where planes are trying to land in a major international airport. And if you've ever seen the movie Sully, you've seen what just a goose can do flying into a jet engine. Now imagine whatever the hell this is. The object itself is hard to describe. It's got a top and bottom piece, and these pieces seem to be held together by some kind of ethereal bluish beam. And at some points, the beam will make a solid connection between the two, and at others, it'll be fragmented and broken up, and it's almost as if the objects are floating freely in the air. Now, between the tether and the top of the object is this little yellow pufferfish-looking thing, and when you zoom in on it, and you can argue this is matrixing, but to me, I see what looks like little eyes and a little nose, and an almost Pokemon-esque little yellow pudgy guy. Around this cute little yellow fella is a pocket of energy that is translucent and is emanating out of the top of the object, and he seems to exist inside of it. And I'm wondering if maybe this is like their little version of interdimensional scuba diving, and that's his air pocket, or that's his pocket of reality, so he can exist in our three-dimensional space while he's doing his little visit. The top of the object looked like a giant red cybernetic eye, and the bottom part would shift between having one eye, 2, 3, or it would shapeshift entirely into a solid object. I also observed the top object shapeshifting as well. I don't know if at this point the thing had a really good idea, because the top started to glow like a light bulb. As I observed it passing by, it did continuously change the amount of eyes it was displaying, both at the top and bottom pieces. And here's another picture of our friend from the side. 4 months later, I'm out at the park with my family. It's a bright sunny day, same as the type of day as when I first saw the object. I look up, and who should I see but our friend, floating along playing hooky. When I saw this object, again, it occurred to me in that moment that this isn't just going to be a one-off. These aren't just going to be stories that you tell, like, yeah, one time I saw something and I couldn't explain it. This is going to become the norm. And whether people are ready or not to accept it, it's right in front of our faces. I think it's time we stop waiting for permission to live in reality and just accept what we see with our own eyes.
It kind of looks like it could be an unmanned reconnaissance drone with some sort of instruments hanging from it. I'm not sure if this is alien or human tech, though. It could be a Northrop Grumman.
So let me see if I got this straight. You're trying to tell me that this is a natural rock formation? Oh, you son of a ballbag. This is known as the Free Rock Whales in Thailand, and it's been given that name because people say it resembles a family of whales, a mommy whale, a daddy whale, and a baby whale. But the official narrative says that it's just a natural rock formation that was formed over 75 million years ago. But check the catch. 75 million years ago, this whole region was underwater. Oh, we got your ass now. So what people are saying is that the reason why they look like whales, because brother, that's what they are. Petrified giant whales. Oh my days. So what we're trying to say is that many years ago, everything grew to an enormous size. Vegetation, animals, even humans. And at some point, there was a cataclysm that petrified many living things and turned them into stone. But the eyes are useless when the mind is blind.
If we're using the Occam's razor principle, which states that the simplest explanation is usually the best, what's more likely, that this is a natural rock formation that happens to look exactly like 3 whales, or that this is actually 3 whales?
Somebody posted a video of themselves walking through a Chuck E. Cheese that's empty, and he noticed Jasper T. Jowl's eyes looking at him at one moment in the video. As he continues through the video, multiple things of incidences like this happening, like this guy whispering in Chuck E. Cheese's ear, and the moment he does, Chuck E. Cheese's eyes focus on him. All of the animatronics at Chuck E. Cheese are automated. That means that somebody is not operating them in the back of the room or something like that. So all of these occurrences are random. But there is a theory that this guy, Nathan Dunlop, who used to work at Chuck E. Cheese, he was fired and then hid out in one of the back bathrooms, and once they were closed, he opened fire on the remaining 5 employees that were still in the Chuck E. Cheese cleaning up. He 4 of the 5. He was arrested and sentenced to death. That was supposed to happen in 1996. But in 2013, Governor John Hickenlooper granted him an indefinite temporary reprieve, so he never saw the death penalty. And everybody knows that FNAF is heavily based upon Chuck E. Cheese, so people think that the souls of the 4 people that died at Nathan's hand haunt the animatronics at Chuck E. Cheese, making them move in unpredictable ways. But what do you guys think about this?
If there's something paranormal going on, they better bring in the holy water and get rid of it, because no kids are trying to have a birthday party at a haunted Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh yeah, I'm
This look Whatever restaurant is serving this needs to be shut down. If you eat this whole burger, you're gonna be on the toilet for the rest of your life. But that was the video, guys. Don't forget to sub up, hit that notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next one.